Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda, and this is Gizmo.
We're the Newcomers. Every week we come to you and we take questions from viewers. We tell you about our life here in the villages. And we, all in all, we just try to have a good time with you.
We sure do.
Do you notice anything different today? We had a viewer, not one, more than one, say, hey, you know, on your shirts, Jerry, you're on the wrong side. So I thought, well, okay, I'm gonna just switch it up today.
I feel really different.
It does feel different. You all look different from this side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
You need to turn around.
Well, today we're going to talk about, remember the pod mystery last week? We solved it.
We're going to compare the cost of buying new furniture when you get here or bringing your furniture from home.
And are allergies bad here?
And we're going to discuss the bond issue. Is it necessary?
Power lines. You've seen those big power lines in the villages. Is that a deal breaker or not? All that and more coming right up. Hit it, Wally.
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
Hey, that was Jay Ryback. He wrote in and said, hey, can I say hit it, Wally? So you did it, Jay.
Yay, Jay.
And you know, we had another letter, and it's here somewhere, but it said, who is this Wally guy? Wally is a friend of ours.
Yes,
he was a viewer. He's a really talented musician. In fact, he's playing locally around now, but he's got a little home studio and just does a fantastic job. He's a good friend. We love him.
Yeah.
And
his whole family. We know them all.
Yeah, we appreciate it. There was a surprise here this past week. A visitor came to one of the village's front doorsteps. Look at that. That's a pretty good sized alligator. They said he came from a nearby pond, hung around a couple hours, and then went back. You're getting nervous about going out at night with Gizmo, aren't you?
I will open that door like this, but Gizmo just darts out. I'm going to have to kind of hold him back because it pretty much scares me to death.
And you know, it's all fear because we haven't seen an alligator here.
No.
We haven't seen a bear, although we caught one on camera a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
There's been a bear in the area. And snakes are always an issue. People say don't leave your garage doors up even this much because snakes will crawl in.
Yeah, and right now there's a big black slug on our screen back
A
here.
slug?
It's
Oh,
black.
no.
It is as black as Jerry's shirt. Weird.
And now we're switching it up today. See that? Huh? We got two different color shirts on. Yeah. So, you know, that was a shock to them. I'm sure if you open that door and just go out willy-nilly, whoa, I stepped on an alligator.
Yeah.
You got to watch out.
We had twins this week.
I'm so proud.
You didn't know. Poor baby. My parents didn't know they were having twins. No, had no clue. I was making breakfast, cracked an egg, and there was a double yolk. It's pretty fun.
We had been buying the large eggs because eggs went up, remember? But
Yep.
they've come back down. So we got the jumbo. We got the extra large, and there was a set of twins in there. It was just
cool.
awesome. All right, each week we have been showing you a video viewer question. We put out the call. If you have a question, you want to video yourself, about 30 seconds, you know, send that to us in an email and we will use it if it's a good subject matter. And this week we have a good one. Take it away, Howard.
Hi, Jerry and Linda. This is Howard in Rochester, Minnesota. One thing I like about our weather here is that we don't get allergies in the winter. What are the lives of allergy sufferers like in the villages? Thanks for the show.
Great question. I'm going to let Linda answer this because she has been griping for days.
What, allergies? Yeah, they're around. And I'm telling you, wake up and my nose is clogged, I'm breathing hard, and at night I'm snoring a little.
Bad attitude.
Bad attitude. No, but really, and especially if I go in the golf cart when I get home at night. Thank you, honey. If I get home after a golf cart ride the next day, I'm really clogged up, and I noticed that. Yep, allergies are affecting me here.
I guess it's up to the individual. I had allergies in Indiana. I mean, I would have them in my eyes would swell shut in the springtime, and it was just horrible for me. But I don't have them down here, so I feel good.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the person.
Yeah. Well, you were back by the Ohio River, and I think that had a lot to do with it. That area.
Darn Ohio River.
True.
We got a question this week, and it is from Catherine.
She says, I've watched several of your videos, but have not yet learned who does the voice of Gizmo.
You want to take that one, buddy?
Gizmo?
Why don't you take this one?
Who does the voice of Gizmo? Who does the voice of Gizmo? What does that even mean? Come on, Catherine! Jiminy Christmas.
Well, I got to tell you, he was a little bit insulted by that question, but remember the pods that we put out and someone came and I showed you the video of her loading them into the car and taking them away? What was up with that? We found out. She contacted me, and it turns out we know this lady.
We do know her.
Her name's Patty, and she is the artist extraordinaire that puts in backsplashes in the villages. You want her to do your backsplash, you better call her now because it's about a 6 or 8 month
Is she still
wait.
doing that? I thought she stopped doing that.
Well,
but-
I don't know. But she now produces art using these pods. Look at these beautiful things that she's made
How neat.
just with these old discarded palm tree pods.
Yeah, that's called repurposing, and that's like recycling at its best.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Really.
All right, so we're saving them for her. In fact, yesterday I gave her 2 more of those darn pods. Paul writes, thevillages.com does not list bond costs for the new listings or any listing. Are they the same for all homes in particular villages, or do they vary based on home price? Such a significant cost, $25,000 to $45,000, should not be hidden.
No, absolutely not.
They don't hide the cost of the bond. If you read the homes for sale with the villages, down in the long list, it will say bond paid or bond not paid. Well, in all the new construction, the bond's not going to be paid, and every home has a bond. I'm going to show you the information on our bond here in this house. It's on your screen. On our home, the bond was only $23,000. They're quite a bit larger now. And right now it's been paid down, it would have been paid down to $17,000 at the beginning of this year, but luckily the homeowners here paid it off ahead of time. But your question, Paul, was why do they hide that cost? They don't. You can go to districtgov.org, and under finance, if you know the number of your neighborhood, ours is 200, all the designer homes in that neighborhood will have the same bond amount. If you have a villa, it'll be a different amount, it'll be less, but all the villas in your neighborhood will have the same bond. And that's just the way it is. You can pay off that bond, but you have to pay it off in full. Or you pay it every year with your tax bill. Now I have another bond here, a more recent one that I wanted to show you. And this is from one of the very newest neighborhoods. And you'll see that designer home bond starts at $45,000.
Yikes.
Now that will be divided over a 30-year cost at a cost of about $3,300 a year. So you divide that by 12, and that's another. You can figure it monthly, but you got to pay it annually if that makes sense. So that's the bond. What does it pay for? It pays for your roads, for your tunnels, for your infrastructure. What they do is if your neighborhood has 500 homes, then whatever it costs to build all that infrastructure, they divide that by 500. And that's the amount that they finance over 30 years. In our case, although we don't have it anymore, it was about 6% when it started. It's been refinanced to 3-point-something%. So that was good that the villages refinanced it. It's not a secret. Districtgov.org, go to finance. You can find the bonds for every neighborhood here.
This is from Kathy from Rhode Island. I'm looking at homes in the newer section, and I've noticed on some of the videos that there are huge power line towers behind the homes. It looks like they're going along the turnpike. Is that a concern to anyone? Should I avoid homes with the towers behind or next to them?
It depends on each individual person. For example, we went on a ride just to research this question. I mean, we've seen the power lines here. Often they'll put a golf course on the power lines or a dog park or something that won't interfere with people. But, these are huge power lines.
Yeah,
they take up a lot of space. They're so big and tall, you can see them in the pictures here. your home would have to be a mile away before you couldn't see them.
Yeah, that's true.
So many people have a view of the power line. We talked to some people, Tom and Brenda, right here, you can see them. We were going by their home and they were so nice. They invited us into their backyard and we looked at their view of the power line and it didn't bother them at all.
No, they enjoyed it because they have actually some little bit of a nature preserve right behind them now. It's all growing up, but they can see lots of birds and eagles, so they really enjoyed their place there.
On the other hand, we had a couple last year write to us and say, would you please go look at this address? We're renting that for 3 months and we want to make sure that it's nice. Do you mind going and giving your opinion? Well, don't do that. We're not going to do that for everybody, but
No.
but we did go do it for them and boom, it was right next to a big power line. And I told him, and he said, that was my one request from the property management company that they rented from. We didn't want to be near power lines, and they were smack dab on it, so they didn't take that house. They got a different house.
Gosh.
It bothered them.
Yeah.
But believe me, there are plenty of people down there that it doesn't bother, and to each his own, right?
That's right.
Suzanne and Doug write, my husband and I are considering moving to the Villages in a couple years. We want to take care of our own lawn and are wondering if you're able to put a shed on your property.
Oh, yeah, we thought that too when we came here. I really like the yards cut with little strips, and to do that, you're going to need your own lawnmower, and you'd have to keep it in your garage.
Yeah, the garages are not huge here. And so if you kept a lawnmower and a weed eater, a couple of gas cans, string, a blower, it takes
All
up,
that.
so a shed would come in handy.
Yes,
But this is one reason we moved to a controlled community, because we don't want people,
without buildings.
storing John boats in their backyard and putting sheds out and stacking lumber and all that. And that's what sheds contribute to. So can you have them? You'd think no, right? I called the deed compliance office and I asked them that question. They said it depends on which district you live in. And there are some districts where you can have them, but you need to get permission. So you'd go to the architectural review committee and give them your plan. We know of a couple of detached garages that people have down south.
Yeah.
They don't look that great. I gotta tell you, they don't look great. But they're there, they got permission. And I guess they make it legal by putting a little breezeway from their home to it or
Connecting
something.
it.
But again, everything here depends upon getting permission. You can't just go build it. And it would have to be I asked her this, it'd have to be of a similar material to your home.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't put a sheet metal shed out
No.
next to a block and stucco home.
No.
And I'm kind of thinking about getting a shed now. I'd like a place to store my lumber and odds and ends. And,
Yeah. His lumber is for building things. I mean, it's not for a fireplace or anything like that. It's for actual work in the workshop lumber, right?
Well, fireplace wood isn't lumber. Lumber is like 2x4s and plywood
Yeah,
and
okay.
stuff like that.
This is from Mike and Sharon from Illinois. We know Mike and Sharon, don't we? We know some Mikes and Sharon.
They're from Louisiana.
Louisiana.
the ones we
Hi,
know.
Mike and Sharon from Louisiana. Can you provide cost of coming down to the Villages with no furniture and buying all new furniture after moving in? We would be looking at a 2 or 3 bedroom cottage house, so on the smaller side, and we have frugal taste. Just trying to budget for 3 to 4 years from now. Love watching your show. That's difficult.
Popular question,
Yes,
though, right?
it is.
You got a house full of stuff, 33 years in our last house, tons of furniture. Just automatically you think we'll bring it down. But then you read about the Villages and they say, hey, start over. Don't move that stuff down here. It's expensive to move it down here. It can be expensive. We boxed everything up ourselves.
Yeah.
We hired a mover after I did my due diligence, and it cost about $5,000 to move that furniture from Louisville, Kentucky to here. That's where the movers were out of, Louisville. They came up to Indiana, got our stuff, and drove down. A good deal, and a great movers. Margaret's Movers of Louisville, Kentucky. Hats off to them, 100% satisfied. But is that what you should do? Well, we got to looking at our furniture. We have a leather sofa and chair. I mean, that's pretty expensive, sofa and chair. So didn't want to leave it. It was perfectly good. We have this dining room table where we're sitting right now with 8 chairs. Didn't want to leave that. It had a hutch, which we've given away. It had what's that other little thing over there?
Tea service.
A tea service.
Yeah.
You know, so
Or a sideboard.
it's substantial. So we brought it down. We had 3 full bedroom suites that we brought down here. Or is it sweet? I never can tell. Is it sweet or is it
No,
suit?
suit. Sweet is an area. Suit is the thing.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Is it now?
Yeah.
They'll tell us, won't they?
Yes.
So we brought 3 bedroom
suits.
sets down from Indiana.
Yeah.
And we learned that they were too big for this. So we're in the process, and we'll show you sometime. We've gotten rid of that 1 bedroom, and we bought a sofa sleeper, and that's going to be an office for her.
Yeah.
And then we have 1 guest bedroom, and then we have our bedroom furniture.
Yeah.
So we're getting back to the original question. We put an expert onto this question. Her name's Ruth Dyer. Did you see the podcast that she did with us a year and a half or so ago? Yeah. And you can catch her on YouTube. She has her own YouTube channel. She has a newspaper column.
Yes, it's on Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays in
our
the Daily
paper.
Sun. She is the guru of design here around this
Did an
area.
amazing job.
And like I said, she has a new YouTube channel, so you can catch her on there. Ruth Dyer.
Yeah.
I'll give you the address to that. And she told me, room by room, how much it would cost you to set up an average designer home. She used a gardenia, for example, and she went room by room and calculated the cost. And basically, it's about $31,000 is what you would pay to come into a naked house and fix it
that
up.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's with just basic furnishings, but upgraded big furniture like your sofas and your beds and things like that. $31,000 for us to move. I told you it cost $5,000 for the movers, but we had old furniture then. You come down here, it's Florida. Maybe you want beachy stuff.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you want to start fresh and get rid of that, the fleas in your sofa from up home or whatever. And
No, please.
whatever. You want new stuff,
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. But you can look up Ruth. We think she's great. And thanks, Ruth, for putting the pencil to that for us. I know
Thank
that
you,
wasn't
Ruth.
easy.
I need to take acting classes. Look up. Look up. I usually triple. Of course.
Ow!
Oh.
All kinds of...
While I was cooking breakfast, I said breakfast. I said that.
That's farmer's tan. Get down. Patty in Pennsylvania writes, you came from Indiana, so you had 4 seasons. In Florida, you only have 1. Do you miss it dearly? I don't know if I can give up spring and fall. Well, I think you're wrong, Patty, because there's definitely a winter here.
There's definitely a winter here.
Of course, your blood done thinned after your hair for a while, so you think that 50 degrees is cold.
Yeah.
But there are some nights in the 30s, so we get that. Well, the only thing we don't get, we don't get that ice and snow.
No ice and snow.
Did we ever tell you about the time she slipped in the driveway?
Yeah.
I'm in my workshop. I'm out there working wood, power tools. She comes out, I don't know, she might have brought me a drink or a sandwich, I don't know what it was. And she left, and I heard a big boom. And it was her head. Her feet slipped out from under her, and she got a concussion.
Yeah.
I had to take her to the hospital. And we don't miss that, do we?
No, we don't miss that.
Going down to get the newspaper, we had a sloping driveway, and we don't miss that at all, do we?
No, don't miss it. The fall leaves I kind of miss.
We had the most beautiful neighborhood. I mean, it was totally wooded, and in the fall, our leaves were golden and red. And it's
Beautiful.
just beautiful. And then they would fall down and your driveway would become slick as snot.
And then I don't miss raking the leaves.
And raking those leaves.
Well, we didn't really rake. We did the blower, and the blower.
We raked. Don't believe that.
The wooded lot. I mean, I had leaves up to my knees at least.
Well, that's only that tall.
But seriously, they were up to my knees or even thighs.
But then the leaves fall in late October, early November. And then for November, December, January, February, March, April, you've got doom and gloom. You've got gray treetops and gloomy skies most of the time. No, we don't miss it at all. She also writes, I've heard that the average villager lives there about 5 years. Well, you know,
How did she find that out?
I don't know. Well, we did hear that the average villager moves 3 times here.
Yeah.
But they usually upgrade or downgrade. You might move into a villa, then decide you want to design your home, and then decide you want a better view. Some people do that.
Yeah.
Some people move into a big home and then get older and move to a smaller home.
Right.
But I think her question is they move here 5 years and move out. We know a few. She has a good friend that just moved recently to be closer to her relatives.
Right.
But she's about 75 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
So she's moved away. She was a lady living alone. And who else do we know that has moved? Oh, we had another couple. They were in their mid to high 70s that just left to be with family in another state.
Yep. Yep.
But most of the people we know have been here a while and plan on staying here. So I don't know where you got your information, but I don't think it's accurate. With any place, people are going to move in and out.
Yeah. This is from Matthew. Do you have to register your golf car? More importantly, are the golf car pathways patrolled by police? Meaning, do I have any risk of a DUI if I'm operating my golf car on these pathways? Oh, what do you mean DUI in your golf cart? No drinking. Matthew, no.
It sounds to me like you're asking, am I going to be safe driving home drunk in my golf cart? That's a terrible question.
No.
The answer is we have not seen police on the golf cart paths. The police do occasionally patrol the main drags here, but yes, you can get arrested for DWI or DUI.
DUI.
Yeah, it's both driving while intoxicated, driving under the influence.
Yeah.
You can get arrested for that, and I hope you do.
Well, you know what? On next door.
If you drink. If you drink. We don't want drinkers on the road.
Yeah. Well, this is also just kind of off the subject, but on the subject of golf cart and policemen. On Nextdoor the other night, I read that the policemen were stopping golf carts and giving tickets because they were double parked by a place where they were going to go in and jump out and go to the postal service or go get your pizza or do something. People were parking the golf carts in an area where they shouldn't have been parking, and they were getting tickets. Yep, I heard it. So don't park, double park.
C. Grulke writes, with hurricane season starting, do many people put up hurricane shutters on their windows? Are these permanent structures, or do you have to put them up and down again? Also, how does Gizmo go to the bathroom? Some are suggesting baby pools with sod in it. She asked this very question a while back, and we'll start with that one first. Our neighbors, the ones we told you just recently moved away, they put AstroTurf in their back, in the
lanai.
Lanai, yeah, so they could take him out there and go to the bathroom. So that's pretty brilliant. But you know, we have an overhang out front, and we have a flower bed, and it's like get out there and get her done and get back in. So
yeah,
same thing out back. Just take one step off the back porch.
Yeah.
And you know what, Gizmo, as we told you, he's slowing down big time. He doesn't want to go for long walks anymore, and he doesn't want to go far when he goes out and does his business. So he literally just steps 1 foot off our back porch to tinkle.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that he's been doing that for weeks and weeks, and that grass is still as green as it can be.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So for all our grouchy neighbors that put out those little signs that say no dogs allowed, this dog right here,
it's a fertilizer.
he has a quality urine. Let me tell you, it does not hurt your lawn one bit.
No.
All right, back to the other question. What the heck was it? Oh, hurricane shutters. We don't see any of them here. I'm sure there are some, but we have never seen any. Those are like fold down metal doors or louvers that you put on your glass windows to prevent breakage. It'd be a good idea in our back where this lanai is, because there's all kinds of
Yeah.
palm trees with gravel around the bottom. And I think during a hurricane, that gravel would become like bullets.
Like little bullets.
But we don't have it, and nobody we know does.
No, we did see that at Cocoa Beach. We saw the windows that had the hurricane shutters, and I thought, those are pretty cool. That would be nice
Yeah.
to have, really would. But we really don't, knock on wood, have had the storms here.
We're interior Florida, you know, and they say a lot of people from the coast come this way to avoid hurricane damage. But we see it at Crystal River. We've seen those shutters. We've seen them at Cocoa Beach. We've seen them up near Daytona.
Sure.
People that are near the ocean will have them, but we don't have them here.
Jerry, it's time for those shout outs.
Well, do you have anything on upcoming entertainment?
Well, we do. On June 13th, Yoga on the Square. Now that sounds like a lot of fun. You don't want to try it?
No.
Oh, come on, Jerry.
All that stretching.
You don't have to wear leotards.
No.
Or whatever. On June 14th, the Dixie's Tupperware Party at the Savannah Center. And I'm not sure about this pet adoption at Seabreeze. So they just bring pets that they want
June
to get
16th, pet adoption at Seabreeze.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can go there and get yourself a pet.
Hope no. Then there's the 26th anniversary cruise in with Rocky and the Rollers. That's on June 17th.
Cruise in is when you take
Yeah.
they take their classic cars and everybody
Yes.
comes in. And I guess Rocky and the Rollers will be
Be performing at
performing
Spanish
there. One of our
Springs.
very, very, very favorite bands here in the Villages.
Yeah. And then there's the Motowners at the Savannah Center on the 17th.
I have decided that Motown is probably right up at the top of my preferred music. Although I love the Beatles and I
Yeah.
love a lot of things.
Yeah,
I'm a crazy music guy,
Motown.
but Motown is awesome.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, and here's a neat one. It's a murder mystery game at Riverbend. It happened in the Village's murder mystery game.
On June 19th. I wonder if you have to buy tickets for that.
No,
Seems like if you're in charge of entertainment, you'd have found that out.
should I?
We're trying to give you a word scramble each week. You did really good last week. If you watched the show, the answer last week was Spanish Springs. That Fountain of Youth clue should have given that
Yeah.
away. And this week we have another word, jumble. There it is on your screen. The clue, it's wonderful and eye-opening. Bring your wallet. That's the clue. It's time for sweet and salty. All right, sweetie.
I get to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Mary. You two approach your life there like excited, happy newcomers, always seeing what's around the bend or cart path. Keep the name.
Yeah, she's referring to newcomers. You know,
Right.
people, every week we have people saying, why do you call yourself newcomers? You know, it's just, it's our brand.
It's a
You know, we
brand.
started with it and
Yeah.
it feels good. So we're just going to keep it and hopefully you'll put up with it. Well, thank you, Mary.
Yeah.
We know we try to have fun every day. You know, I don't know if we're excited or not, but we try to, we try to keep our eyes open for fun things to do and try to have an adventure. Adventure's good. Now we'll go on to the salty. This is from Rob. Don't you love these salty comments? You baby boomers all deserve each other. Your generation is awful. Enjoy your bubble world in your retirement community. Rob, that's exactly what we're going to do.
We are.
We're going to enjoy our world in our retirement community because we have fun and we're with people that we like and we enjoy each other and it's a good time.
Yeah.
Here are Karen, Jim, and Cookie. They're from Boston. They finally pulled the trigger and now they're the proud new homeowners of a beautiful home in Newell.
This is Jose with Terry, and they're up in Spanish Springs.
We like Spanish Springs. Beautiful up there.
It is.
Molly and Tomoko. That's their buddy Opie with them there. And they wondered if they were the first subscribers that we've had from Japan.
Aw.
Konnichiwa.
Tim and Betty Ann O'Sullivan started their lifestyle stay yesterday. I bet they're having a great time.
Yeah, they were the ones that sent us that beautiful
Yeah.
painting of
We
Gizmo.
love that painting.
Yeah. This is JoJo. We met her at Brownwood Paddock Square, and she has a new home in the village of Richmond.
This is Linda Blair in the white dress with her cousin Ann. And there are a lot of Lindas here in the villages. Yeah.
She looks a lot different than she did back when she made that movie. You know, the one where her head spun all the way around?
I don't think it was the same girl, honey.
Here's our buddy Chad Montgomery and his lovely wife Jennifer. They were viewers, then they became friends, and now Chad is a terrific sales agent right here in the villages.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. He wants to be with us. He loves to be with us, but then he takes a nap. It's like Linda riding in the car with me. She wants to go with me, but I look over, she's asleep. You have something for us today, pal? Take it away, Gizzy.
Jared said he was going to get a pizza delivered. Pizza delivered? Oh, that's gross. Why would they ever put liver on it in the first place? Ugh. Hey, do you know why the tomato turned red? 'Cause it saw the salad dressing. Do you know why a koala bear is not really considered a bear? Because it doesn't have the proper qualifications. Qualifications. Oh, thanks everybody. Keep sending me those jokes. I'll see you next week.
Good job, Gizmo. Good job. Way to go. That's going to do it for this week's edition of
Mailbag Monday.
Be sure to tune in for Thursday's show. We think it's a good one. We're going to take you to 3 amazing neighborhoods here in the villages.
If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook.
It's so easy. You just hit that subscribe button. We need it. Come on.
Until next time.
See you when you get here.